Hey, we're live.
Okay.
Whenever you are.
Call the order, pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. From? Here. Kiel? Present. Roll here. Here. Shudi?
Here.
Major? Here. Oxford?
Here.
6 are all present. Approved minutes of the 26th, 2025 City Council meeting.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Krieger, second by Ocker to approve the August 26th, 2025 City meeting minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 6-0. Public comment.
I go first. Is it on already?
It is. It should be.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Jamie Dahmer. I'm here tonight to express my support for the continued development and investment in both the Business Improvement District and the Kiel Riverwalk District. I'm the owner of Brandon Design Company, now properly located in our newly remodeled building in downtown Kiel. I currently serve as the president of the Riverwalk District. In this role, I've taken a close look at how the Riverwalk District aligns with the goals and structures of the bid. I've reviewed the original bid formation documents and brought the 2017 bid plan to the Riverwalk District and to the bid meetings to assess whether they're staying true to their original vision and to identify areas for improvement. We've been actively working to make adjustments in line with those guidelines, even without a formal update from the bid committee or operating plan. Over the past year, I've also helped develop and revise the 2025 bid budget, which the Kiel Riverwalk District submitted at the most recent bid meeting. I was grateful to receive positive feedback and approval from the bid. We recognize the importance of updating the formal operational plan and have begun writing it. We are confident it can be completed efficiently and contained going forward. The bid and Kiel Riverwalk District bring real value to the city in many ways. Community events that drive foot traffic and build community pride. Marketing and advertising our downtown through the Riverwalk District refreshed website and printed business listings, especially useful for out-of-town guests. Attending events at the Yard 65 Brewery, Mill Home Supper Club, and other venues. Business support and membership, including our newest initiative, a partnership with Progress Lakeshore's Circles of Seven program, launching this fall, which will offer mentorship for existing business owners. The bid and Kiel Riverwalk District also have made noticeable efforts in beautifying the downtown. This includes flower planters, decorative metal art installation, and Love Lights program. We've also been fiscally responsible, setting aside savings for future investments like the additional metal art, downtown tree planting, and signage grant programs. Recently, we've even discussed the possibility of contributing to aesthetic upgrades tied to the upcoming downtown highway construction project, ensuring that improvements to our infrastructure also reflect the character and appeal of Kiel. We're fortunate to have a strong core of longtime businesses that remain active participants in our efforts. Names like American Family Cheryl Brock, Badger's Den, Beyond Nutrition, Bob Shaneborn's Jewelry, Crystal's Pet Supply, Fork and Dagger, Goodfellas Barbershop, Kaleidoscope, The Lounge, MK Elegance, Miller's Barbershop, Patriot Properties, Premier Financial Credit Union, and Rex Bakery. Their continued involvement shows a real commitment to our downtown's success. I've also personally taken the time to meet with and invited all the new business owners who have recently chosen to invest in our community. Businesses like Edgewater Bar and Grill, Yard 65 Brewery, Fallon House, Giggles and Growth Child Therapy, Intentional Living with Lori, Mermaid Med Spa, Skinsations by Kay, Sandy's Music Studio, Stacy's Rustic Treasures, and Unwind Skin Spa. Each of them saw the value of joining the collaborative, supportive network through the Riverwalk District, and their enthusiasm is helping energize the next phase of downtown development. Regarding the city's matching funds, I feel that's a clear demonstration of a strong partnership between local government and the business community. They reflect a shared commitment to supporting business owners who are volunteering their time and energy to create a welcoming, thriving downtown, one that truly shows that Kiel is open for business. In short, the bid and the Riverwalk districts are delivering results, bringing people downtown, supporting local businesses, and helping shape a more vibrant Kiel. I've shared our goals with you tonight. We are true cheerleaders for downtown Kiel. I would like to hear from the Alder people who are questioning that. What are their goals in seeking to dissolve the bid? Thank you for your time and for your continued support, and I am always available for questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
It is.
Good evening, I'm Mary Crystal with Crystal's Pet Supply, and I guess I would have to say that this bid was my baby. Back in 2017, a whole year was spent trying to put the Kiel Riverwalk District together, working with the businesses, working with the administrator at that time was Bob, I believe his name was. He was here a short time. And he was very instrumental in helping us put this bid together. It passed on the first swing through. There weren't any issues. The only thing we've ever been asked for from the city administration was for meeting minutes. And again, this is prior administrators. We've had obviously some changing of the guards. As far as staying up to date on plans, I have to say that I'm probably guilty for not following through on this and making sure we were doing everything. This also should have fallen on the city as well to remind us if there's something you needed, you should be asking us for it, as well as the committee chair. And that is me since June, so I'm going to have to say the buck stops here. We're already working on our 26 plan. I don't know of any businesses in the bid district that want it discontinued. I'm only aware of one person that wants the bid to go away. That person doesn't have any skin in the game. We as business people downtown have invested a lot of money in our businesses, worked very hard to grow them, and without a thriving downtown, do we really have anything? We really don't. So I would really like to see that you accept the resignation of Alderman Schutte from the bid, appoint us a new alderperson so we can collectively work with that person and Dave Funkhauser to complete our 26 plan and to stay up to date on it. We are a group of volunteers. Remember, we don't have anybody on the payroll like in the other tax districts where they're always working on the plan and staying up to date. So basically, I'm asking for forgiveness for us for not staying on top of it. There's a lot of, it can be a lot of finger pointing, but what's the purpose? Let's move forward. We've got a great downtown going here, as you can see. I don't think there's anybody sitting behind me that wants the bid to go away. So we ask that you approve to keep the bid. We ask that you approve to keep matching funds as you've invested many, many dollars in the industrial tax districts. And if you stop matching these funds, I think you're going to send a bad message to the businesses downtown. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Anybody else? Okay, we'll move on. Consideration of plans for the agreement for the MF Housing's residential development.
Tom Clister's here representing MF Housing. In your packet was the project narrative. This is the 6.168 acres that was rezoned R3 out on Cemetery and East Industrial. It will consist of 45 units. Certified survey map and the plans as shown in your packet were approved by the Plan Commission last week. And I'm happy to say that as of this afternoon, we were able to also come to an agreement with the development agreement, which I sent out to everybody this afternoon. So I'm excited about this project and what it can bring to Kiel as far as future development, and it definitely fits a need for housing in our community.
Any questions? Comments?
Oh, I did sit in on the planning commission because that's one of my duties. And everyone was delighted to hear about it and very supportive of it. And everyone enjoyed the additional information with the pictures and the discussion of how much Kiel can support, not in a financial way necessarily, but any housing that would fit needs for those over 55. We have a lot of services in this city. There is Meals on Wheels, there is Senior Wheels, there is medical ability to be provided here, as well as a dispensary for pharmaceuticals. The other consideration that was taken under note and strongly supported was that as senior housing opens up for people that may choose to not wish to keep their whole house, they would be selling their homes and allowing for more people that are in need of housing to work locally to buy and become members of this community. And so I would like to make the motion that we approve the plans and development agreement for the MF Housing Residential Development. I believe it's Industrial Road,
East Industrial.
East Industrial, it says cemetery on my,
It's on the corner of Cemetery and East Industrial.
okay, on the corner of Cemetery and East Industrial.
I have a couple of questions yet. Tom, is your group also the ownership for the development you have up in Sister Bay?
Yes,
How many units are up there?
45 or 44.
45?
Very similar.
Okay.
The style of building is going to be identical to this, and the same materials will be used.
Different taxing authority, but may I ask the question what that's assessed at?
I don't know off the top of my head, but my
Okay.
guess is probably around less than 2 million.
It is less than 2 million.
Yeah, my guess is it's probably around 1.8.
Okay.
These projects are tough because construction costs a lot.
Yeah, I know.
And a typical project like this, might assess out at 95% of construction costs, 90% of construction costs, something like that. But because of the affordable nature of this and where rents are, I don't know how long ago it was, but there's case law for this, is that the income approach supports the assessed value of these, because in real estate, property taxes are your largest percentage operating costs. So if all of a sudden we have it just gets everything out of whack, and it doesn't really make any huge job. So yeah, I think it's probably less than 2 million, 1.8 is my guess.
Okay, thank you. I would second Alderperson Schue's motion.
That's motion for the development agreement, the certified survey map, and everything in the packet.
Correct.
Yeah. And development agreement, yes.
Motion by Schuette, second by Broker, to approve the plans and development agreement for MF Housing Residential Development on Cemetery Road. Roll call.
We gotta vote, yeah.
With the certified survey map.
With the certified survey map. Okay. From?
Yes.
Gill?
Yes.
Broker?
Yes.
Schuette?
Yes.
Krieger?
Yes.
Doctor?
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
Well done.
Consideration.
Looking forward to it, Tom. Thank you for investing in
Thanks for coming
Kiel.
again.
Really excited about it.
Thank you. Good evening.
We got item 7 is considered 2025 Can-Am UTV for $23,699 for the Kiel Fire Department, which will be paid for by a grant we were awarded.
Yeah, came in, the grant award came in after the committee of the whole, that's why that wasn't brought up, but the fire department was granted $25,000 to make this purchase. Invoices there, and then there's the visual of what they'd be getting.
I make a motion that we approve the purchase of the 2025 Can-Am UTV for $23,699 for the Kiel Fire Department, paid for with grant funds. And I would like to add that I would like to commend Lieutenant Reisner for all his hard work and his grant writing. He does a phenomenal job, and he has saved this city an absolute ton of money. I don't know the exact figure, but I believe it's north of $100,000
It is over 100,000.
through his grant writing.
Is all that in your motion? Because I'm gonna have to
No, I don't
play the
think-
video.
It's actually signed.
No, well noted. Kyle and I communicate on a regular basis. He's definitely got a passion for it and should be commended for the work he does.
Okay.
Motion by Gill, second by Broker to purchase a 2025 Can-Am UTV for $23,699 for the Kiel Fire Department, which will be paid for through a grant that Kyle Prizer applied for. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Consideration of final payment of $417,793 for fire apparatus and equipment for the other half of the new engine that will be delivered probably in October.
Yeah, this is the final payment. This was all approved in last year's budgeting plan for this year's budget. It's under, just for council awareness and authorization. It was approved multiple times in the budgeting process, but due to the amount, we wanted to have full transparency with the public of what's going on. So this is the final payment, and as the mayor noted, delivery's coming pretty soon.
So that's full total satisfaction then?
As I understand it, yes.
That's it.
I will make the motion to make the final payment for $417,793.39 to Fire Apparatus and Equipment Incorporated for the new engine for the Kiel Fire Department as approved in the 2025 capital budget.
Second.
Just a quick question, is this, do you swap when you get it? Do you give them the check when you get the truck?
Dave will say that I'll probably this week or next week, and then the final inspection will be the 22nd of September, if I'm not mistaken.
Check those first.
Motion by Shooty, seconded by Gill to final approval of the $417,793.39 to fire apparatus and equipment for the new engine for the Kiel Fire Department, which was approved in the 2025 capital outlay. Roll call from
Yes.
Gill,
Yes.
Broker,
Yes.
Shooty,
Yes.
Krieger.
Yes.
Actor.
Yes.
6-0 motion carries. Consideration of trick or treat on Sunday, 26th.
I'll make a motion to officially schedule the citywide trick or treat on Sunday, October 26, 2025 from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Second.
Motion by Broker, second by Actor to approve the citywide trick or treat on Sunday, October 26th from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Consideration to reaffirm the ordinance 622 related to signs, the sign ordinance.
Correct. As you recall, this was one of a batch of ordinances that we had to rewrite and address due to deficiencies, primarily due to the Supreme Court case involving signs and the content neutral. You approved this, you voted for it, everything was filed. I did not publish it because after the next day is when I saw another lawsuit come through that said anything related to zoning must go through the Plan Commission. So I scheduled a Plan Commission meeting agenda item for this. We also held and noticed a public hearing for the ordinance change that occurred last week. There were no comments at the public hearing. It passed unanimously by the Plan Commission, so just looking to bring it back to keep it all in pace and proper and legal. if approved, if you reaffirm it and approve it tonight, then I will send it for proper publication, and it'll be active 30 days.
I'll make a motion to reaffirm ordinance 622 as we previously approved.
Second.
Motion by Broker, second by Krieger to reaffirm ordinance 622 related to 17.33, amending the sign ordinance language approved by the city council vote on August 12, 2025. Roll call. From,
Yes.
Gill,
Yes.
Broker,
Yes.
Shudi,
Yes.
Krieger.
Yes.
Doctor.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. Consideration of fireworks for the Kiel area school district homecoming.
Homecoming on October 3rd from 7 to 9:30. They have a licensed fireworks provider. It was reviewed by the fire and police chief as per our permit. Everything was approved. They have a certificate of insurance and a safety plan.
Move to approve the consideration of fireworks display permit for the Kiel area school district for homecoming event on Friday, October 3rd, 2025.
Second.
Motion by Krieger, second by Shudi to approve fireworks display permit for the Kiel area school district for homecoming event on Friday, October 3rd. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Consideration and discussion regarding terminating the business improvement district, which is the bid. Any discussion?
This was raised by Alderman Shudi and also a request from Alderman Fromm to have this on the agenda tonight for discussion and action.
I would like to say that I do believe initially there have been a couple of different perspectives. And I did some follow-up on that and looked at the state DOR, or Department of Revenue, laws. And I also contacted the League of Municipalities to find out if my thought processes were correct. I have asked numerous times since I have become the representative from council, or speaking from the council to the bid, to revise the plan, and it never occurred. I asked with Jenny Olive, the previous administrator, and I thought I had asked Dave, the current administrator, but he does not remember it, so be it. My memory some days is not the best. That had not occurred, and it was, in my opinion, that the budget that was submitted was not accurate. It was not an appropriate budget. Dave Funkowski, the administrator, came and spent time at one of the meetings showing all of the ledger and how it should look, so that it would be done appropriately. And then the amended budget came before the bid. And as I recall, and I don't have it verbatim, but the question that was voted on was approving that amended budget, which spoke of $8,000 being dedicated to the Kiel River Walk funds. Since that occurred, and I didn't hear anything else, I was somewhat surprised when it came before the council that the $8,000 was to be put into the Kiel River Walk District personal account. That cannot happen. According to the state law, that money must be kept in a separate, segregated account within the city, and bills paid through that account. You cannot just take $8,000 and put it in whatever checkbook you use. It has to be through the auspices of the city. You can have access to it, I believe, if I understand after talking with, not Sean. with Ryan at the Wisconsin League of Municipalities, their legal counsel, according to 66.1109, which I gave out copies to everyone at the last meeting. Parent 4 states that, and I will read this again, all special assessments received from a business improvement district and all other appropriations by the municipality or other monies received for the benefit of the business improvement district shall be placed in a segregated account in the municipal treasury. No disbursements from the account may be made except to reimburse the municipality for appropriations other than special assessments, to pay the costs of audits and reviewed financial statements under required sub 3C, or on order of the board for the purpose of implementing the operating plan. And it goes on to say that if the bid is disbanded, all of the special assessment money needs to be redispersed to the people that paid it. I want to make it clear that I do not disapprove of what the bid is doing. I do not disapprove of what the Riverwalk is doing for the community. I disapprove and have serious concerns with the way it has been operating regarding clarity and appropriate documentation on how the money has been spent. There needs to be receipts to the dollar and cents. It needs to have the current year's budget and what was spent, and the next year's estimate of what was to be spent on a budget that is submitted. And that has to go to the city budget committee before it comes to the city to vote on in the whole budget. That also has not happened. I have asked for meetings to be earlier in October so that we could meet that, and I was told by both Administrator Funkhauser that was okay, that didn't need to be turned in until November. I believe something to the effect that it's just moving a line over. I don't know that. I'm not a big budget person. But when I read this and I see that it needs to go to the budget committee before it comes to the council, that tells me there needs to be some time for the budget committee to meet before the council has to vote on the whole budget. Now, I have asked to resign for a couple of reasons. I do not believe that there has been good, receptive communication between myself and the bid. I have attempted to make suggestions that have been ignored. I didn't expect them to necessarily take all my suggestions, but it would have been nice to at least have them acknowledged as being, or trying to be, supportive. That did not happen. I have also, since I have been voted on as an older person, had severe asthma and has caused me many issues. Sometimes my medication gets out of its operating parameters and I do get foggy brain. That has happened 3 times in the past 6 months. As such, resigning from the BID will lessen my workload and it will lessen my stress in trying to accomplish what the state law forbids states we should be doing. And it does clearly state a plan, and I did look at the 2017 initial plan, and I do think there is some significant changes compared to what you've actually been doing. I don't know. I wasn't on the bid in 2017, but from what I have seen. I think it's also important that when you have an event, you need to support that with how many people attended, how many of the businesses saw an increase in their business that night. Some supporting fact to show the effectiveness of the money spent. I'm not saying that for me. I'm saying that for the community. I'm saying that because that's part of what is in the law over big districts. And this copy, if I can read the date, ironically was last modified in 2017. So that has not changed since the big district has become. I am not necessarily interested in seeing it be disbanded as long as they can put together an appropriate plan with how they plan to spend the money. They get it straightened out so that there are receipts brought in and bills are paid directly from the city coffers. That $8,000, when we approved it on the budget, was dedicated to the Riverwalk. Very similarly, we do this with maintenance, vehicle costs for the utilities. When they budget a certain amount of money, and I don't know what it is off the top of my head, estimating what they're going to need. And as that money gets used, the payments are made out of that account. And if they run short or they need more money, then they have to come back to the council. It does not mean that you have to come back to the council for approval on every dollar of that $8,000. That's what approving the budget did. It does not mean that you can just take that money and put it in whatever way you have been paying things, and use it however.
Okay, I think we should move along a little bit. Do you want to do anything else, or?
No, I just, it is tax dollars. I have heard repeatedly that the money was not tax dollars. Special assessments are tax dollars. Citizens are allowed and should have access and clarity with that. You said that, River Edge is now part of the district. Your district plan says the district ends at 67 and they are across 67, so it needs to be modified. And so that's where I'm at.
Anybody else have any comments or questions?
Yeah, so since my name is attached to this as well, my name got attached to it. Kathy and I had a phone call. She asked that I request that it be on the agenda, and I supported that for the sake of this conversation. I'm not bent on terminating the bid. My business is obviously in the bid. Just some thoughts on what you've already said. I don't think that statute, just by the way I read it, says that this body has any absolute control over making that $8,000 payment from the bid. It says by the order of the board. So if the Riverwalk District requests a transfer from the bid, it's up to the bid board whether or not that should be an acceptable expense. Just the rereading of what you read, it says it fairly clearly that the bid board controls the bid money. I think that we as a body have, and this is, can we lump these together, Gary, and the fact that we're going to talk about the city's match is the next thing. I think that discussion will be much shorter and not necessarily decided right now, but I think there needs to be, as you said, a budget so we know, right? If the city is going to continue to match, and it's gone up, right? It's gone up. It started at 10 grand as a straight number, and it's been matched since then. I think we need to know what the next year's plan is, not just what happened. So, and I'm sure that's coming after all of this discussion, that we're going to see that in October when we get together for budget meetings. But that would be my 2 cents worth on that. yeah, I'm not in favor of terminating the bid in any way. I would just like to see that additional budgetary piece when it comes to whether or not we match as a city and the general fund.
I would like to add, when I talked with Ryan, he said that the bills should be run through our treasury. It should be a segregated account, not some random private checkbook. It has to be a municipal account, and the municipal treasury. And yes, as I said, the $8,000 can be spent without any further approval from us, but it needs to have bills, receipts, documentation submitted. For what? To whom?
Okay,
I think it's just a separation, right? I mean,
It
it is a
is.
separated, segregated account for the
Yes,
bid.
it is a
Riverwalk
separate-
is a separate deal.
Yeah.
The Riverwalk is submitting a
Correct.
request for bid money,
Yes,
and the bid board gets to decide, are we gonna give this to the Riverwalk? There should have always been a marriage between the two entities, one governmental, one nonprofit, that sometimes got fuzzy and sometimes got lost, and right now it's obviously
I don't think it has
lost.
gotten fuzzy and
No.
lost. I mean, but there's backup documents, if you scroll down, we have a whole
Oh, yeah.
budget spelled out, and it's not just random.
The bid
off.
fund is segregated. The bid fund, as I stated at the committee of the whole, when Alderman Schutte made allegations and implications that there was fraud and financial shell game occurring and implying that I had something to do with that, which I took personal and still take personal and professional offense to, I would welcome an audit of the bid fund. They have maybe 3 transactions a year.
Yeah.
That audit could occur in less than 10 minutes, and the money has been accounted for. From the records I reviewed, the bid board, by their bylaw or by their operating procedures, 2 members sign off on the receipts. The funds are paid out of the bid account and paid to any invoices that come forward. This, in my opinion, was a nuclear option, a completely unwarranted reaction to a simple thing that could have been solved with a phone call and an explanation. I take complete defense to the fact that I was never asked anything about the bid plan. You and I have gone back and forth on that, Kathy. You have made mistakes in the past where you thought something had occurred, and you even mentioned that tonight. You didn't remember that you had even voted for and seconded the motion to approve the budget, which you said tonight that you were part of that approval process. This speaks of just a lot of miscommunication, and we're at a point right now that I think has been a colossal waste of resources and emotions, and the fact that you made comments implying fraud is personally and professionally offensive, and I'm considering options at this point, put it that way.
well,
As a Riverwalk treasurer, I have paper documentation of what we have spent for the bid for Riverwalk. I have copies of all of the transactions that we have done, and the only thing that we have spent out of the bid is bid for the plants for Honeymoon Acres,
Correct.
and that's only 2 transactions that we have done for this fiscal year. And that was for this plants for winter, for the beautiful greens, and then we also have for the summer flowers. That's only 2 per year that we have spent out of the bid for 2025.
And that is correct, and those invoices were paid out of the bid account, properly documented. Everything is up above level, above ground, completely transparent. No doubt, and there's no disagreement that the bid needs to work on their operating plan. I've already had numerous discussions through messaging with Mary and Jamie, and we've already got a template that Mary's working on to get that operational plan up and running. This can be simply fixed. This did not need to get to this state. And I could not be more upset with the fact that we're even taking this time to continue discussing this now.
I'm in no way, shape, or form in favor of terminating the bid. I think you folks do one heck of a job to keep the city presentable. I will say that the operating plan, we need to go back to that, the original document, and we'll be on the straight and narrow. And I think we'll be doing a good thing.
Already in the works.
Yeah, great.
We're taking the original one and the new template, and we're trying to, one person's got to work on that first to bring it to the board, so.
And that's
In
what we
my
need to
spare
work
time
on.
between midnight and 5, I'm working on that.
From the original document, and this is only a small excerpt of it, in addition to the assessments revenue that you collect, in addition, a 2018 contribution of $10,000 will be provided from the city and city utilities. Future year requests will be considered on a dollar-per-dollar matching basis. And that's another part of this procedural upgrading, I guess, if you want to call it, or retooling to make sure we're back and focused on targets, is to come, once your budget is developed, come back to the city budget committee and come back with your operating plan where you think those expenditures are going to be in your upcoming year. And like you said, I fully support continuation of the bid.
I would like to include that any monies turned over to the Riverwalk District are still tax dollars and still need to be paid through the treasury. And they still need to have receipts turned in. That is what legal counsel shared with me. So you can separate the bid, and you can have the bid give the Riverwalk money. But all of those tax dollars need to be dispensed through city tax treasury accountant, okay?
Alderperson Schutte, hasn't that been done? You are continuing to bring up this $8,000 and this alleged transfer of funds that never happened.
And it only did not happen because I refused to vote for it and became vocal at that meeting.
No,
You
it was brought before the council
Yes,
for discussion and a vote. So everything was above board from the start. You believed that Mary Crystal had directed me to forward funds to the Riverwalk District, that had occurred back in June, yet you waited 2 months to even bring this forward at all when you were standing chair of the committee, of the bid committee, during all of this. So that continues to puzzle me at this point. But it did not happen. No money was transferred, and for you to say that you stopped this as some champion of the taxpayers' money is a totally inappropriate comment, because when it was brought to me by the bid, the first thing I told them is this has to go through the council as part of the revised budget. And then you made allegations, and totally baseless and without merit, which was completely inappropriate.
Yeah, I believe I communicated to you that the bid board passed it, and that was the end of it.
Correct.
I never asked for the money.
passed. And that's where I believe the issue lays, Mary, is that it passed the amended budget, okay? And that we did do. I don't seem to recall any specific vote about dispersing that $8,000 directly through the bid to the Riverwalk.
That's what the amended budget was.
Exactly. That
Yes,
was
but it
amended.
doesn't, it releases the money to the Riverwalk, not to a local, whoever has the checkbook. The Riverwalk still has to present the bills.
We will.
We already went through that already,
Yeah.
so I think we,
Well, then there's been a serious lack of communication between us, because I have, like I said, and I can go back and talk to other administrators, have asked for the plans and all of that to be updated. The budget that I saw at that meeting was like 4 or 5 lines. It had no other outlay. It was the first budget that you showed.
Which includes operations highlighted, I've got on the screen, $8,000. That's what I understand was the revised budget that was passed in June by the Riverwalk District, by the bid. That meeting that you attended, and the minutes of that meeting show that you not only voted to approve this, but you also seconded the motion to approve it, which is why everybody was so confused 2 meetings prior to this, when you raised issues saying that you had never voted for this, never saw it, never approved it.
As I was trying to say, there was two perspectives. I never voted allowing a straight $8,000 deposit into a private account for the Riverwalk.
But it didn't happen, again, that didn't happen. And that's
That's
why my
right.
head is spinning on this.
Okay, then, yeah, I think we, reported it.
I would like to comment on it. Both the bid and the Riverwalk District, I believe, are doing phenomenal work. I think I can speak on behalf of the majority of the city. I think that we have wasted so much time for no reason on this. It's insane. The accusations that were made over this were presumptive, uninformed, and dangerous. And I think it's terrible that that even happened. To put this to bed, I'm going to make a motion to not terminate the bid district and to continue going on as we have in the past.
Second.
Motion by Gill, seconded by Broker, not to terminate the business improvement district.
Roll call.
What?
Roll call, please.
Roll call, yes.
Does that mean that there will be no changes to the way they do their
We already
accounting and
discussed that, he
everything?
was working with them on getting a new template for, let's just move
But
on.
he said no changes, I just wanted to be
Well,
clear.
Yeah, I think the motion is to determine.
Just to not terminate.
Not to change
Yes.
the bid.
Okay,
to
we got-
continue
We got a motion,
with the
second.
bid.
Roll call from
Yes.
Gill,
Yes.
Broker.
Yes.
Shudi.
Yes,
Krieger.
Yes.
Actor.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. Thank you guys for everything you do too, so,
Thank you.
yes. Okay,
Thank you.
Thanks for the support.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll go on to the next one. Consideration and discussion regarding city matching funds for the bid annual budget.
Yeah, as discussed, that Alderman Fromm brought up and also Alderman Broker, the original resolution calls for an additional $10,000 payment to help basically kickstart the way the bid, and that's how I understood in reviewing it. It does say that future funding should be requested by the bid. That simply has not happened, it's just been a match, a dollar-for-dollar match. So as part of the discussions with the Riverwalk District and the bid, we're going to formalize that process where they look at their budget, they look at their operating plan and see how much they need, be it a straight-up dollar-for-dollar match or potentially less. Or maybe they're at a point where they don't need as much one year to the next, and they will file those requests with their budget. We'll get this all squared away. That budget will then come before the city's budget committee and be incorporated in the overall city budget. So it's just a matter of cleaning up some of the stuff that's been going on.
Has this 2025 match already been paid to the bid?
Correct. That was approved by the budget committee last year, or as part of the budget. But it wasn't as spelled out and detailed as it should be, as noted by Alderman Shudi. So we should make sure that that occurs moving forward.
It's basically refining some budget procedures.
That's all it is.
I'd make a motion, but I have no idea what we'd be acting on the 13th.
There doesn't have to be any action that it was requested that we
Take
put it
that
out.
up. As you said, once your formalized business plan and budget comes forward, so we have some kind of an idea if there's any city funds necessary, because obviously the bid is its own separate taxing authority entity, and those assessments stand sort of separate from the city tax rolls. So I guess we would have to wait.
Okay, you got a second on that?
I don't think you need to.
We don't need to.
Just die on the vine. There's
But
no.
since you're on this topic,
Okay.
very quickly though, as you guys amend this bid document, or refine it, do please spell out the Riverwalk as a specific entity and their ability to request funds, which maybe it's already in there. I don't necessarily agree with the level of paper trail coming all the way to the city. I don't think the city needs the receipt if the Riverwalk District buys a string of Christmas lights or pays a band, I don't think the city gets that receipt, that's up to the Riverwalk. But that, we could get an accounting of it as a matter of transparency to approve or deny requests for city money going into the bid, but, it's just my 2 cents is please spell out that process clearly so that we're not asking for every receipt of the Kiel Riverwalk District because the bid doesn't.
We wouldn't have to.
We need it.
No, the bid would, any expenses that are paid out from the bid are formally sent in to the city for payment. They're signed by 2 board members of the bid approving it, whatever those are. And like I said, if an audit occurs annually when the entire city budget is audited. The Fund 880, or Fund 800, I think it is, I can't remember exactly, is included in the entire city's budget. So it's been audited annually. And like I said, there's minimal transaction. An accountant I spoke to said it might take 10 minutes to audit the entire history of the bid because of the minimal transactions that
But
occur.
I get it, it's flower pots, it's metal art, and it's sign grants. I think
Correct.
that's it.
Correct.
That's ever happened out of the bid.
So the bid, if the bid is going to make a payment to reimburse the Riverwalk District or anyone or a band or anything else, an invoice is generated, it's sent to the city, to the treasurer, to be approved for payment, and it comes out of that fund. And that is part of our bill paying, which would go through the bill paying process.
Right,
So,
but my point is still, there's a purpose for the Riverwalk District
Agreed.
aside from the bid.
agreed.
But move on from this. I have one question though that I would like an answer sent either from you guys or Dave. How much has the bid transferred to the Riverwalk District? Specifically in straight transfers as this 8,000 was proposed?
None.
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 It's
This
never
is the
occurred.
first time we've requested it.
It's never
Where
occurred.
First time.
I don't know if we're gonna wanna do this again.
So the Riverwalk District to date, right,
Has never received any money from the bid.
never received.
I came to Dave a couple months ago and I asked if it was possible.
Sure.
No, it's good to know. I mean,
And then this is what transpired.
yeah, well, I mean, initially,
Transparent.
there was.
You try to be transparent.
Yeah.
And say, here's our budget for the next year.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that for the next year, right? for
We're on it.
$10,000.
Well, we already submitted one for this year, right?
There was, yes, this year was submitted and a revision to this year as well.
Yeah, that's all, I'm not
Yeah.
doubting any of that. I was asking, because I honestly didn't know, I didn't realize the Riverwalk through its limited number of fundraisers, I guess, and I think there was a fee the very first year for all the businesses, but,
We've lived on what we made the very first year.
yeah.
And then donations or sponsorships. But yeah, we have not pulled anything other than, what bills were directly paid.
Okay, good, thank you for clearing that up.
Then we'll move on to item 14. Alderman Schudy's resignation from the council representative bid, effective October 1st.
I make a motion that we accept Alderman Chudy's resignation as the council representative to the bid district effective October 1st, 2025.
I'll second it.
Motion by Gill, second by Schudy to approve the Alderman Schudy's resignation as the council's representative of the bid, effective October 1st. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Consideration of council representative for Alderman Schudy's position of the bid.
It's the mayor's appointment, which he makes annually, but certainly would entertain, I think, anyone that would volunteer. It's not a heavy lift.
I don't think anyone wants that job anymore.
It's really too bad if no one would want to, because in reality, it's not a heavy lift. This can be worked out once the operational plan is in place and we get everything squared away.
The
Would
work
not be.
basically.
How many meetings do they have a month?
Jamie and I and-
They don't meet monthly, they meet maybe twice a year, 3 times a year? Spring, summer, fall?
I'm guessing it should be free. There should be an election. There
Usually
should
when
be
there's-
an initial budget, and then when they pass the budget, to go to the budget committee.
Usually when there's an application for a signed grant,
Correct.
we need to approve that as quickly as we can to reimburse the business.
As well, yeah.
I would volunteer for that position.
Make a motion then that we that we recommend to the mayor to appoint Ty Gill to the Business Improvement District Board.
I would make one other suggestion. I think one of you folks that comprise the bid should actually chair that group and not have the council.
Right.
Very good.
That was done in
I would
June.
not share that.
Second.
Who made the motion?
You got from.
Motion by Franz, second by Actor, to approve Ty Gill to replace Alderman Schutte on the bid district board. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 6-0.
So that's your appointment then, Mr. Mayor?
That is correct.
Okay.
Good point.
Thanks, Ty, for stepping up.
Alderman Ty, I'll be reaching out. We're going to have a meeting shortly.
Look forward to it.
Item 16, consideration of to accept the bid revised 2025 budget transfer of $8,000.
Yeah, we're bringing this back, so this is what started everything, is the bid did submit a revised budget, which as clearly spoken of, the council needs to review and approve. As right now, they have an expenses operations for the Kiel Riverwalk District, $8,000. As pointed out numerous times, that is up to the bid to determine if they want to spend that money in that way. No money has been transferred, but this was approved by their board. I still don't know if it was by majority or not. I don't know.
It was, I confirmed with our secretary, that it was a unanimous approval on the bid.
That's how your minutes read.
Motion to approve the revised 2025 budget for the Business Improvement District, including the transfer of $8,000 to the Kiel River Walk District.
Second.
Motion by Broker, second by Krieger to approve the bid revised 2025 budget, including a transfer of $8,000 to the Riverwalk District. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Donation
Thank you.
is,
Thank you.
thank you guys.
Thank you.
Donation is printed, $100, $50, $250. Need a motion to.
I make a motion to approve the generous donations in the total amount of $400.
Second.
Motion by Gill, second by Broker to accept the generous donations of $400. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0. That was for the fire department, sorry. Approve receipts and disbursements.
Motion to approve receipts and disbursements.
Second.
Motion by Crum, second by Krieger to approve the receipts and disbursements. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approve bills.
Motion to pay all bills.
Second.
Motion by Frum, second by Krieger to pay all bills. Roll call. Frum,
Yes.
Gill,
Yes.
Broker.
Yes.
Schutte,
Yes.
Krieger,
Yes.
Actor.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. Adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Gill, second by Broker to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned.
Have a good week.